Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So, it's Tuesday night. It's a little after 9 o'clock. Dave and I just finished up our readings. My wife got back from Japan, and she had a great time, but she brought home a bug with her. She's kind of laid out with the flu right now. And I have a hunch she might have presented me with that gift as well. So I wanted to push just a little harder tonight, just in case I start feeling under the weather, in case it really knocked her off her butt. And so if I'm knocked off my feet the next couple of days, well, I want to be able to at least sort of focus on recovering. We'll see how I do. I've had a cough most of the day. Hopefully that's all I get. But so it's a little annoying, but I can power through that. The reading I want to do today is military parades. Now, the U.S. Army is looking at options around its 250th birthday. So the Army's birthday, if you will, is June 14th. And they're celebrating the 250th birthday. So they were planning to do some sort of celebration for the Army. Well, guess who? Your favorite president also has a birthday on June 14th. And, what dictator doesn't want a grand military parade on their birthday, right? Trump's wanted this before when he was president the first time around. He wanted to have this big military parade down the streets of D.C. And there was a bunch of people that are like, you know what? The streets aren't meant for that. This is going to tear up the streets. I mean, with the military vehicles, like the tracked vehicles, they do have like rubber pads they put in the tracks so they don't tear up the asphalt when they go down. But I mean, the weight of these vehicles is very, very heavy, and it's the roadways were they weren't necessarily constructed for military activity to go parading up and down. So right now, the Army has been asked to explore, expanding the parade, maybe making it more grand than it currently is. But right now, there's no decision about whether they are going to expand it and give Trump his military parade that he has always wanted. Heather Hagen, the U.S. Army spokeswoman, said Tuesday that a decision on the parade was pre-decisional. Okay. The Army is planning to celebrate its milestone birthday with multiple events leading up to June 14th, including a festival on the National Mall. So, in 2018, Trump wanted a parade with including vintage aircraft and fighter jets swooping over the streets of Washington and with heavy tanks below. But it never materialized because the city officials said, no, we're not doing it. So I want to take a look at the energy on this. He's like a 10-year-old who really, really wants this. For you Willy Wonka fans out there, you could just hear Veruca Salt right now. But I want a military parade and I want it now, Daddy. So let's see. Let's look at the energy around Donald J. Trump, our favorite president, and the thought of having having this 250th Army anniversary parade coinciding with his birthday in honor of Trump. How's Trump looking at this right now? The foundation is the magician. He is going to try and make it happen. The cross is the Ten of Cups. Right now, he's made a lot of decisions with tariffs and with Doge that are really, he's been beating the drum about how he's going to save money, right? And with these tariffs, people are starting to recognize that the price of goods are going to go up. The stock market is not reacting positively. And with Doge, it's all about saving money and stopping wasteful government spending. I wonder how people are going to look at the spending of a big old parade, if they're going to look at this as something that is beneficial or wasteful. I mean, we're already paying for all this golfing, right? Underneath it is the lovers. He wants to make some agreements to have this. He wants this to happen. The challenge is, the optics. I don't think he cares too much about optics, but there will be people around him that are going to say, people are not going to be happy families about this. But he wants this. He wants that relationship. He loves the army as long as he is not asked to serve. In the past, you had the Eight of Wands. He's broadcasted this before in 2018 and currently that he would love to have a military parade in D.C. Current energy is the Knight of Pentacles. But we're going to sit back and see what happens. It could come down to money or how the economy's doing. I don't think he cares, but the people around him do. Overarching energy is the Knight of Swords. He wants this to happen. I don't care what it costs. I want what I want. I'm a dictator. I'm a strong man. I want to show off my strong army. This is making America great. The lesson to be learned, the Ten of Wands, that this is just... There are so many challenges in the United States right now and the world because of Trump's actions. And is this really where you want to... Is this the hill you want to die on defending? What's the outcome? Outcome is the Page of Swords. He's going to try and get creative. He wants that fighting energy. This will show everyone how powerful and strong I am, and they'll all be real scared of me. So, okay, big surprise to nobody. Trump wants it to happen. Somewhat of a surprise to me is there are people around him that are like, I don't think that would be a good idea. I mean, no one else is kind of like whispered in his ear and said, hey, this isn't such a good idea. You sure you want to do this? Trump doesn't care. Now I'm going to spin the wheel here a little bit, and now we're going to pivot on this the reading. Melania. We haven't heard a whole lot from Melania lately, have we? There's been a couple of people in the comments saying that Melania was in Switzerland with Barron, and were they looking to buy property there? What I've noticed that Melania and Trump's spawn have been notable in their absence from this administration. But Melania mostly so because, what was her comment? I think her quote was, stay tuned. Because they were asking if we're going to see more of her in the campaign, and she said, stay tuned. Right? Well, guess what? No. She hasn't been involved at all. She is staying the hell away from Trump in the White House. So let's take a look at Melania's energy. Because, Laura Loomer's still around. And she's clearly whispering in Trump's ear. She's getting people fired. So how's Melania feeling about this whole second time around in the White House? Okay, foundation of the reading is the Nine of Wands. Oh, just so tired of the fighting, so tired of the backstabbing. It's just, she was done with it the first time around. She did not want to, I don't think she wanted to sign up for it the first time. She definitely didn't want to do this the second time. The challenge is the Hierophant. Well, you're the first lady. You're FLOTUS. You have a job to do. I guess maybe she had to renegotiate her prenup yet again to sort of outline how much was expected of her. Underneath the Ten of Swords, she just wants this to end. She wants this to come to an end. When you have that much exposure to the public in the media, your every step is being watched. And when your husband is as controversial as Trump is and as loathed as Trump is, you are going to get attacked. It's guilt by association. There's some in our audience that say, well, she knew what she signed up for. Well, maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I don't think she ever expected that Trump would run for president. I think she was very happy that when he was running Trump Incorporated, and she was just going to the gym and getting coffee and was somewhat has a lot of anonymity. She doesn't have that anymore, and she wants this to just end. In the past, you got the Three of Pentacles. This is probably negotiating. You want to run for president again. This is what it's going to cost you to drag me into First Ladyhood again. Current energy. This should be interesting. Ace of Cups. Strong emotions. New emotions. Upwelling of emotion. It's just, she doesn't like it. She's unhappy about it. This is not what she wants. And she's being dragged into it. Overarching energy, the King of Pentacles. This is, hey, but there's, the money is supporting this, and I have to support my husband and his money making activities. They had a meme coin under Melania that came out, and I think it started out at $13 and it's down to 50 cents. And now there's all this intrigue around what's going on with this meme coin. I was reading the story, and I frankly wasn't following what was going on, but there's shenanigans going on, and it has to do with money. Lesson to be learned. Three of Swords. I guess I could take this two different ways. She's heartbroken that she's found herself in this situation, but with this Ten of Swords, she could be waiting for that health event to make this end quicker. What's the outcome? Outcome is a Chariot. It's everything is going to move ahead slowly and surely. If this is Trump's health failing, there's a progressive nature to his health. We're definitely seeing the mental health decline. There could be a physical health decline, and it's progressing steadily. And Melania is probably hoping that this will bring this to an end, because she's not happy. Okay, there's also another big not surprise about that reading, right? So she's just doing her thing. Not happy, doesn't want to be engaged with this. She is doing the bare minimum in order to keep the paychecks rolling, I suppose. Okay. Oh, what else can we do while we're looking at this, since we're just sort of doing kind of a grab bag of readings here? Okay. I'm going to hold on for just 1 second. There's a name I want to look up. Stand by. Okay, I just want to make sure I had the right name. So Kevin Roberts from the Heritage Foundation. So had a lot of comments. Do a reading on Kevin Roberts. I have to be honest. I really don't like political issues much, and so I sometimes just don't do my homework, and I don't pay attention to people like Kevin Roberts. But I do know who he is. We all know what Project 2025 is. And Kevin Roberts was, he's out there, and he's really supportive of Trump's tariffs. He thinks that, don't worry about it. By the end of the year, the average American is going to see all the benefits of these tariffs, and they're going to be really happy that we did it. All the rest, there'll be new trade agreements, and everyone will be benefiting from this. So let's look at the energy around Kevin Roberts. And there's been some speculation that Kevin Roberts and the Project 2025 team are actually running the government at this point. So let's take a look. What's the energy around Kevin Roberts, and how much influence is he having on Donald Trump and Trump's policies? Because Trump's policies are basically he's just exercising the Project 2025. But Trump also, he's a prima donna, and he wants to be in charge, and he wants to be, out in front of the parade while everything's going great, right? So let's look at Kevin Roberts. What do we need to know about Kevin Roberts? Kevin Roberts, Foundation, the King of the Wands. He wants to get stuff done. I've got an agenda, and we are going to move forward with it. Boy, that card wanted to come out. The challenge is victory. You know, there's a lot of the Project 2025 agenda that's not very popular, and it's going to be challenging to get some victories. It's not going to be challenging for Trump to issue executive orders and making these happen, but it's fighting the court battles, executing these things, and actually showing victories. Because what's been happening is they're exercising it, they've botched it totally, and then they end up in courts, and in some cases they're losing the court cases, sometimes they're winning a partial victory or a victory, but everything is slowing down. And they need to show victories. Like, that's Trump's biggest gripe with Doge, I think, is that, you know, they're supposed to go out and find $2 trillion, and Elon and Doge are not showing any kind of savings, and certainly nothing that can be independently verified and proven. And Nathan is the devil. You know, he and Trump are tied together. They, in the Project 2025, they are intertwined inextricably. So yeah, he's definitely calling some shots here. In the past, we've got the Six of Pentacles. You know, all the money going to the rich people, all the things of value going to the Project 2025 supporters, and we'll give little pittance out to MAGA and some of the other people. Oh, here you go. This is for you. Some people look at this and tend to see trickle down supply side economics, right? Which it probably is. In the past, or the current energy is the Eight of Wands. They're just getting their message out, getting their agenda out, taking their actions, and moving as quickly as they can. I mean, the executive orders flying out of the Oval Office are incredible. I don't think anyone has done so many executive orders in such a short period of time. I think there's speculation that they know that Trump's days are numbered, so they need to get as much done as they can while he's still there. They may be worried that J.D. Vance doesn't have that MAGA horsepower. Overarching energy is a tower. However, their agenda, their actions, they're not built on a great foundation. And they're going to start, they're continually failing in trying to execute this. Conversely, this could be they're just destroying government institutions because they weren't built to handle this type of activity. Let's keep going and see where it's going. What else do we need to know about this guy? The lesson to be learned is the death card. He's trying to kill the democracy that we have. He's trying to end the freedom we have with our government. And he wants this to become kind of a theocracy or, frankly, a fascist state. Could also be that they know that Donald's not going to be around much longer. And they're trying to get everything done as fast as they can before the event happens. The outcome is the Seven of Pentacles. This is kind of, I could take this two ways. This could be they're able to get a couple things done, but a lot of the stuff they want to get done isn't going to get done. Or it just could be that whole karmic, you reap what you sow. And that the results you get will mirror the effort and the amount of care and love that you put into it. My cat is Punky's trying to break into the garage. He's really good at it. I wake up in the morning and the garage door from the kitchen to the garage is open. And I know it was closed when I went to bed. He's figured out how to open a door. Crazy boy. Well, that's what I got. You got a triple shot reading there. Well, hello there. You might get a cat. Hey, buddy. How are you? How's my boy? How's your mom feeling? Your sister's been doing a good job taking care of her. You've kind of been doing your thing, haven't you? Hi. All right, so this is Punky. He looks like that guy. Whoops. Ooh, not David's mad. Sorry, not David. I just knocked David over. Come over here. Come off the table. Oh, there you go. Sorry, not David. Now I've got Punky. So thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, give us a thumbs up. If you like Punky, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. We put out a new video every night at midnight. Leave a comment. I read them all, respond to many of them. I better go pick up Not David. I feel really bad that I knocked him over. Oh, come here, my big boy. I'm so sorry, Not David. I know you sometimes get usurped by the real cats. Okay, there we go. Much better. And we give out shout-outs. Yay. So I've got a whole list. I had like 20 people asking for shout-outs or commenting that they weren't called out on Romper Room. And I really take that to heart because I know as a 5-year-old, my inner 5-year-old and 4-year-old, really disappointed when you're sitting there waiting for the teacher to say your name and acknowledge you and you don't get it. It's just like, so heartbreaking. So the first person I want to call out is Wendy, who said, you know, her name was really popular in the 60s, but has become less so and never got called out on Romper Room. So Wendy, you get the 6 of Cups. I remember back in the 60s, Wendy was a very popular name, probably in the 50s too, right? So Wendy, enjoy that nostalgia. We got Michelle, whose name was also not called out on Romper Room. Michelle, you got the Lovers Major Arcana. That's all right, Michelle. Don't be hurt. There's people who love you out there. Then I've got 811, whose name was not called out on Romper Room, and she used to watch Captain Kangaroo, which a lot of our viewers did, but she was scared of Mr. Green Jeans. I don't know what to say about that. I never found Mr. Green Jeans to be a threat, but you know, who's to say, right? I always thought that little bunny rabbit with the glasses that ate all of the carrots was always kind of bizarre. You know, just like you know he's going to take the carrots, he's going to eat them. Why do you trust him? Okay, so Ada, here's your secret card. Hey, you got the same secret card. You got the 6 of Cups. Yeah, you can look back and realize that, yeah, maybe Mr. Green Jeans wasn't quite as frightening as he might have appeared at the time. And then we're going to wrap it up with Rhonda. Hey, Rhonda. So Rhonda said, yeah, name like Rhonda, I wasn't getting called out on Romper Room. And yeah, pretty much. So Rhonda, you're going to get shout out on this. You get the 9 of Wands. And that's the last of the battles I'm doing with this cough here. My God. So Rhonda, you go out there and you fight that good fight. Okay. That's what I've got here. I still have a couple names left on my list, and we will call them out on the next video. For the rest of you that stuck around and listened to this nonsense, I'm going to give you a secret card, and it's the same as Rhonda's. Let me shuffle this deck because, you know, that's no fun if you're just going to get the same card over and over and over again. So there. Oh, hey, here you go. So the secret card today is the 2 of Swords. We have choices. You have a choice. You could hang out there with Not David, or you can hang out with real David, and Punky's coming back for more. Or if Punky's like, no, we want the white cat, not the black cat. You have a choice, black cat or white cat. Okay, you need to get off the table, kid. All right, thank you so much. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye. Punky, you're such a punk.